The Fear, Polina Karabach.
I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in a big family with my 3 older siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. And I loved doing everything that they did. I loved listening to the same music that they did. For instance, I loved Michael Jackson's music and moves, whom I called at that time Mika Jackson. And I was just a one happy kid. Although, if you ask my parents if 90s was such a great decade, they wouldn't agree. They both working as biologists in scientific institutes in Kiev, needed to take 2-3 jobs on top of that, just to make the ends meet. There's a story in my family when my father could only buy 1 liter of milk for the whole family for dinner. Luckily, as years passed, in 2000s, things started to gradually improve. I remember my father carrying 2 heavy bags from the supermarket, bringing them home, putting on scale to look and be impressed of how much food he can buy to his liking. I went to school, became a huge Madonna fan, and did what any regular teenager would do. I remember the first time that I felt the fear of war. It was in 2001, September 11th. At that time, I knew nothing about the world. But in my family, there were discussions that after the terrorist attack in New York City, an actual world war may start. And I remember to this day how terrified I felt of this thought and how much I hoped that the war doesn't start. As years passed, luckily, my worst expectations did not come true. And I continued to live my normal life. Entered university to study biology, and now listening a lot to famous Ukrainian rock band Okean Elzy. 2010 decade seemed to have brought the best quality of life as both my parents and I could remember. We could buy things that are not considered to be necessary. We could travel the world and see its beauty. 2014 brought the fear of war back and reinforced it. Now, the war is in my country. It's in the places that I know and love. It was a terrifying experience, and somehow, as months and years passed, we managed to live our seemingly normal lives. I started working, and now was listening a lot to the dark pop of Billie Eilish. Until 2022, when the fear of war reached its peak, and unfortunately, it got fully confirmed. As weeks and months passed, all I could hear in my head was, "Ой, у лузі червона калина," with the voice of Andriy Khlyvnyuk, Ukrainian singer. Also, the national anthem of Ukraine and the sounds of sirens. Now, the war is everywhere in Ukraine. It's literally at my home now. The fear of war in itself seems to have dissolved now, because the war is ongoing. Just this night, there were 20 military drones attacking Ukraine. So you can imagine there are many other fears that are connected to this word. However, there are some good emotions too, like the sense of belonging to your country, like the feeling of pride for people in Ukraine that were ready to stand up and fight for their freedom. And there's one important realization that I want to share with you today. Madam Contest Chair, fellow members, and honored guests, there is no point in fearing the war per se, but we should be afraid of not being prepared enough for whatever danger that might come our way. We should be scared of not being informed enough and not know of what is going on around and what is being discussed. And we should be terrified of not being helpful enough for our country, for our people, in order to help prevent the bad things that may happen. So let us all be prepared, informed, and helpful. The power is in our hands. Madam Contest.